Fox 61 News at 5 starts now.
Right now at 5, a young boy assaulted and pushed off of his bike, all caught on camera. Now the community is stepping up to send a message that they won't stand for violent behavior.
Plus, the state reaches a settlement in an abuse case involving a local hospital and multiple arrests, now considered the most the state has ever had to pay a single victim.
And state police stepping up patrols for the holiday weekend. What you need to know before heading out on the roads.
Plus, we're tracking a weather watch alert. It's nice out now, but heat and weekend storms are heading our way. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank has the timing of it all and how it could impact your holiday plans.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the News at 5. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Traffic is expected to start picking up tonight. Americans are already hitting the road for that 4th of July holiday weekend.
State police will also be hitting the roads, patrolling highways and enforcing traffic laws. Fox 61's Carmen Chow joining us live on the Fox 61 Sky Deck with what troopers will specifically be looking out for. Carmen?
And it's Sarah. According to AAA, one of the worst times to travel is actually happening now until 8 p.m. So you could be bumping into some of that traffic when you get out of work. Also, keep in mind, state police will be upping their patrols on the highways. Summer travel already in full swing. AAA predicting almost 2.7 million New Englanders will travel this holiday weekend. Inflation and rising gas prices not preventing people from getting out of their homes.
With all of the pent-up travel energy, with those that have canceled travel plans over the course of the last 2 years, they are not letting anything get in their way this year.
The most popular form of transportation is by car, with up to 2.4 million people choosing that option. 179,000 will be traveling by plane, and 105,000 will be using other modes of transportation.
With all of the delays that we've seen and the cancellations with air travel over the course of the last few weeks, your car is your most reliable source.
Speaking of cars, state police will be out patrolling some in identified vehicles.
We are upping our patrols within the state. We have some DUIs, checkpoints that are going to be happening this weekend.
Fox 61 participated in a ride along with Trooper Jason Soto, who showed us what law enforcement will be looking for this weekend, especially for DUIs.
As we're driving, we try to observe, cars that are driving extremely slow on the highway. Cars that are going extremely fast, or someone who can't maintain his lane and swerving in and out of his lane.
One of the most common offenses, speeding.
How you doing, sir? Trooper Soto with the Connecticut State Police. Can I see your license, insurance, and registration, please?
We have a lot of people that, drive fast, and then we have people that switch lanes, don't use their turn signals, and, distracted driving with people on their phones.
Trooper Soto says many times they will pull drivers over, not necessarily to give out tickets, but to teach them a verbal lesson.
I'm going to let you off with a warning this one time, okay?
And to prevent yourself from having to speed, it's always good to leave as early as you can to beat the traffic, and most importantly, be patient and respectful as we're all trying to get somewhere. I'm live in Hartford. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
Carmen, thank you. Also this weekend, DEEP will be participating in Operation Dry Water. Officers will be on high alert for those boating under the influence beginning July 2nd through the 4th. Operating a vessel under the influence of alcohol or drugs is illegal on all bodies of water. And DEEP is also reminding residents that doing so can lead to serious injuries and consequences.
We're following some breaking news. Stocks plunge on the final trading day of the month. The Dow tumbling 253 points, the NASDAQ giving back 150 points, and the S&P 500 down over 33 points, closing out its worst first half of the year since 1970.
Getting to that weather watch alert here. Nice out today, but it's going to get really hot for the holiday weekend.
And we're hearing that there's a possibility of some storms. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, yes, hot and humid for tomorrow, and then Saturday's the day that we're going to be on the weather watch for thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening. So we're watching for those fireworks displays. Right now in Groton, 79 degrees, overlooking the water. It is just beautiful. You can see boats going by. We've got the warmth without the humidity. Temperatures temperatures are in the low to mid 80s for most of the state, but upper 70s right now in Groton. And the radar is quiet. At this time yesterday, we were quiet as well. Low temperatures tonight will be dropping back into the 60s, so it is not going to be as comfortable as it has been the last few nights and following morning. So the humidity steadily building in as we head through the evening tonight. You're going to feel that soupiness by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, and then it gets hot out there. By lunchtime, temperatures are in the upper 80s, and we'll see high temperatures climbing up around 90 as we head through the afternoon away from the Connecticut shoreline. But keep in mind, with the humidity in place, it's going to feel hotter than 90. It'll feel more like the middle 90s when you step outside. And the reason why is because when there's more moisture in the air, it's harder for your body to cool off. That sweat doesn't evaporate off your body as readily, so you in turn feel hotter. So take it easy out there tomorrow, and then again, we'll be on the weather watch, especially Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Right now I'm thinking around 4 to 8 may be the window, but that could shift forward or backward by a couple of hours for the chance for strong gusty winds and locally heavy rain in spots. We'll take a look at your future radar and your full weekend forecast, which isn't all bad, coming up.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Community members in Deep River are coming together in reaction to a new video. It shows an 11-year-old boy being pushed off his bike and screamed at by a 48-year-old man.
Well, neighbors saying this is just one of several concerning incidents happening in the town in the last month. Fox 61's DeAndrea Turner joining us live in Deep River with reaction. DeAndrea.
Well, you guys, people tell me that this is not what their community represents, and they're not going to stand for it. So now they're hoping that what they're going to do is going to spark some change. A small town.
I've been here 34 years and we've never had an incident like this.
Making headlines for 2 separate incidents in the last month.
It hurts to think that that's happening in our town.
The first one being a racist message left on the Deep River town sign, and now caught on video. 11-year-old Daniel Duncan being pushed off of his bike by 48-year-old Jamison Chapman, who was later arrested.
The whole community is really let down by what just happened.
And now people are stepping up, like the folks at the Nest Coffee House.
It's super simple, and it's just we're going to have hands of every racial skin tone possible, and anybody who comes in can put their name on a hand or simply just take a hand, give a donation of any amount. We're going to cover our windows with hands, and all the donations are going to go to our Tri-Town Youth Service Bureau, which has an anti-racism program.
And the Jedi Center, who work for social and environmental justice. They hold vigils every Friday.
And it's a weekly vigil for peace, unity, and justice.
This week they are honoring Daniel at the vigil.
Point is to to try to do this very small and symbolic action, but hopefully the symbolic action will lead to other actions where we can create a safe and welcoming community for everybody.
Calling for more people to continue to fight for peace, unity, and justice.
If we're going to really dismantle or abolish white supremacy, it has to be all the time. It can't just be, when something horrible happens or when I feel like it. It takes a long-term, consistent commitment to do that.
And that vigil is going to be tomorrow at 5 o'clock on the town green. For now, here in Deep River, DeAndrea Turner, Fox 61 News.
All right, thank you, DeAndrea. And new tonight, the state has reached a settlement in a hospital patient abuse case. Today, a judge approved a $9 million settlement for the lawsuit filed by William Shahadi's brother. Shahadi was a patient at Whiting Forensic Hospital in 2017. Evidence revealed during the case included camera footage that showed more than 50 incidents of Shahadi being abused by hospital employees. 10 employees were arrested and nearly 36 workers were fired. This is the largest settlement the state has ever paid a single person. Several employees sued by Shahadi also agreed to settlements. The Whiting Forensic Hospital is a state-run facility in Middletown treating people like those found not guilty by reason of insanity.
We have an update on a story we first brought you last night right here on the news at 5. We've learned that 2 people have died in a fire in Waterbury. Officials say that the victims are a man in his 40s and a woman in her 30s. Their identities have not yet been released. A 1-year-old child was also injured. Their conditions unknown. The 3-alarm fire broke out at a multi-story home on 3rd Street yesterday afternoon. Fire officials tell us the upper part of the building was significantly damaged. The cause of the fire is under investigation. We're also learning more about another fire that broke out yesterday, this one in Avon. 2 firefighters were injured battling the flames at a home on Wingate Drive. Officials say the homeowners were reportedly not home at the time of the fire, but contractors were working on the house. The home is currently uninhabitable. No word on what caused the fire.
A major headache during the morning commute on I-91 today. This was the aftermath of the crash that stopped traffic in Rocky Hill this morning. Look at that. These pictures come from the Wethersfield Volunteer Fire Department. They say the crash involved 2 tractor trailers. DEEP officials were called in to help because of a fuel leak. Thankfully, there were no injuries. Retired Associate Attorney General Mark Kohler is appointed as the new Secretary of State by Governor Ned Lamont. Just this week, the state's top election official, Denise Merrill, resigned. Merrill says she needs to spend more time with her husband. That's why she's stepping down. He's facing serious health problems. Kohler will take over starting July 11th until a new secretary is elected in November. And in a statement, Governor Lamont says in part, quote, "The circumstances surrounding the need to fill this vacancy are very unfortunate, but I'm pleased that Mark has agreed to step away briefly from his retirement and return to state service." Kohler retired earlier this year after a 30-year career at the Connecticut office of the Attorney General.
Fighting childhood food insecurity, Senator Richard Blumenthal today applauding the last-minute extension of school meals program, which will provide thousands of students across the state access to free meals this summer. He says nutritious food is an important part of helping kids learn at school.
Very hard to study and absorb anything, to really learn when your stomach is rumbling, when you are really hungry. And that's what a lot of kids would be, but for this program.
The child nutrition waivers making this possible are now extended through September.
More affordable housing options are unveiled in the capital city. Officials celebrate the opening of the Clover Gardens project today. The project rehabilitated and converted 4 vacant historic buildings in the Asylum Hill neighborhood. The project brings 32 affordable housing units, 8 of which will house people with intellectual disabilities.